The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an
Had a
interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
On the run, this is Presley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Second down, Winston. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Melvin Ingram in there to drop it for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put them on the ground.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Noah Spence in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
We We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play-action sack. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. And a lot of times when they see an empty backfield, they audible right into a blitzing situation.
It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak. Got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Noah Spence in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Going underneath for Gordon. Fighting his way through contact. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night. I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. Room here to run. Space to run past the 20. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And this time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15.
Ohio! Ohio! Let's go! What? 90!
They're going to look to throw. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to...
Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
Flex round! Flex round! Here we go! Spread 38! Spread 38!
Now Anthony Lynn, sensing the play clock running out, will call for a timeout. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll look to throw here. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
So out come the Bucs now. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, Something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me. We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Back to throw here. Got his man. It's Williams. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Flex round! Flex round!
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Flex round! Flex round!
They go play action here on first down. That's complete to Whitaker. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
Now back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
What? 90. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round. Flex round.
He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the 1st half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go. What? 90. What? 90.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the 1st half. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Elliott puts this one through. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team. They'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thank you very much.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the 1st half. 3-0 our score as the 2nd half gets underway. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the 1st half. and they've had the ability to see what you've done, they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Flex round! Flex round! Here we go! 190! 190! Flex round! Flex round!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Ohio! 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 Motion, motion, motion.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Whitaker. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Jameis to throw it. And this one is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Fielded at the 20. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. He already has 2 sacks to his credit. Now another tackle for loss.
And you know how you can always identify who was supposed to block him? They're the ones helping up the person who just got knocked to the ground with the ball, right? Whether it's a running play or a pass play, they've got to figure out a way to slow him down. Maybe you chip him with a second guy. Maybe you just out-and-out double him. Maybe you make sure you take the ball and throw it as far away from him as possible. Because right now, he is wrecking things for them.
It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now Gordon on first down. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio!
He'll look to throw. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. On 3rd down, Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Melvin Ingram in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Take it at the 37. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On the NFL scoreboard elsewhere, 3rd quarter in Denver. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Matt Ryan, a couple of touchdown passes thus far.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now a handoff. This is Gordon going left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Henry's got it out on the left side. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38! Ohio! Ohio!
Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. It's Charger football, and they've got the lead as well as we begin the 4th quarter. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
They're set up to throw. He's got a man. It's Williams. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. Well, so it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Evans. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Dirk Cutter's guys go for it, but come up empty. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
They'll look to throw. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. T.J. Yeldon, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And it's now 21-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time? Hopefully with a chance to win.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. What a throw right there for the first down. He has taken some real punishment in this game, but still standing in the pocket completing that one.
He's a flat-out warrior. There's no question about that. How about him stepping up into the teeth of the rush and delivering there for that big strike and that big pickup?
Throwing, Winston.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now Winston under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
3rd and long for Winston. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Crawford. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this is incomplete. Dirk Cutter's guys go for it, but come up empty. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Time for a break. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Tyrell Williams with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Chargers are going to add on to their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and it is 28-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved to him like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's going to go down again. Now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Chargers. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander, and he will score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football, because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off inside the 10. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll make it second down. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. The Bucs on third down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Ready. Blue ready.
From the gun, Winston. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. They give him a gain of 37. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you?
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! 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 Motion, motion, motion!
Now back to throw. Man open left side. It's Williams. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Back to throw now on first down. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Motion, motion, motion!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. He's got his man. It's Williams. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late.
It's blocked. The Bucs pick it up, but he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there was a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now, much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you